Hey everyone, so welcome to this week's Plan With Me video. I'm actually filming this on Saturday. Usually I do it on Sundays, but I have a little bit of extra time and I know I'm going to be busy tomorrow. So it's not 100% completely filled out, but this is pretty close to being finished for this week. So if you guys would like to see this week's Plan With Me, or last week's Plan With Me rather, it will be linked at the end of this video, and we'll get started on this week's Plan With Me. So I am super excited about this Plan With Me because I ended up doing another sticker kit and I was so happy with how this turned out. It's a little bit different from anything I typically do, and this one's going to be more of not a complete no white space planning, but very close to it. Typically, you know, as if you've seen a lot of my videos, you know that I don't really like the overall look of people who cover every inch of their planner, but I thought I would try something a little bit different this week. I came up with a kit that I really loved. I did all the artwork myself, and I'm actually thinking of maybe selling it in my shop, but it looks kind of like a mess right now, but it'll all kind of come together, and yeah, so I'm just gonna get started on it. So I ended up printing this on the new label paper that I got. I talked about last week. I got this really cool label paper. The only difference is that it was like pre-cut and stuff, so it kind of is a little awkward to work around the pre-cuts of the paper. So that's why like the actual kit like is so ramble and like weird looking on the actual sheet, but it's fine for the actual stickers and everything. So I was actually really excited for how this kind of kit turned out, and it's very different, like I said, from any other kind of planning style that I do. And I basically created this like a scene, kind of like create a scene type of design. And I really love the Grand Budapest Hotel, and I rewatched it a few days ago just because I was doing a Halloween video based on one of the characters, Agatha, if you guys did not see that. That was really fun, and it kind of just reminded me of how much I loved Grand Budapest Hotel, so I did a kit based off of that. Today's stickers, again, like I said, because I had to like design this weird for the paper that I used, all the pieces are kind of like scattered and like fit to wherever I can make them work and stuff, so I kind of have to like search for all the little bits and bobs that go together. So first I'm going to put down my today stickers, and the way I designed this kit was that it, like I said, creates a scene, but there's two different scenes. So it's a daytime scene of the Grand Budapest Hotel, and then on the other side here you will see it is a nighttime scene. I just thought that was really cute and, I don't know, unexpected and a little bit different than what you might typically see. So I was just super excited about like how this turned out. It's a lot more stickers than I typically would like use and stuff in just like an everyday plan, but I wanted to give it a try, and if I don't like it, then you know I can always go back to my typical style of planning. But I thought it would be nice just to try something different for once. It's a lot more stickers, especially since I've printed all these, you know, like ombre heart checklist, I guess is what they're called. Just a lot more stickers, but overall I think it will look pretty cute. So today I'm going to talk about something I never thought I would talk about. So like I always do in my Plan With Me videos, I usually talk about my you know, whatever latest Korean drama that I've watched, and I have watched quite a few dramas so far. I think I've probably watched about maybe like 9 or 10 so far, and I have really loved like pretty much every single one. Like, not all of them were like, oh my god, this is so amazing, but like it was all of them that I felt like, yeah, that was a pretty good one, that was worth watching, until I watched this one that I just finished. I actually finished it last week, but like I said, all the shows that I've picked so far, I really, you know, they were pretty decent and worth watching, but I don't know what happened, but I just failed at picking a show this time. I picked the worst Korean drama I have ever seen, and even though I've only seen, you know, like a handful of Korean dramas, I don't understand. And I'm probably in the minority with this one just because I looked up the rating of the show and like what it got and stuff from like different websites, and it got like pretty good reviews. Like, I can't remember what website it was, but it got a 93%. Like, 93%, that's a pretty good score, you know? And I was baffled because the show was so terrible. It's called Flower Boy Ramen Shop. So, if anyone likes that show and you think I'm crazy, I apologize because it has honestly been the worst Korean drama I've ever seen. So now I'm gonna start doing these full boxes. These are actually the scene of the Grand Budapest Hotel. Again, I love how this turned out. I did all the artwork myself, and I just thought it was really, really cute. So anyway, back to the show. So basically the show is about a girl who is, I think she's like 25, and she is becoming a teacher and stuff like that. And spoiler, this entire episode's gonna like spoil the entire show, but so if you are not interested in any spoilers, then you definitely would not want to watch this one because I'm gonna spoil the hell out of this video. So like I said, it's about a 25-year-old girl who's becoming a teacher, and she ends up falling in love with, or you know, kind of like head over heels falling in love with this boy that she ends up realizing later is 19 years old, and he is a high school student at the school that she is going to be teaching at, which is just kind of like a weird plot line. But it was honestly just such a bad show, and I didn't like it at all. It was so over the top annoying. Like, I don't mind like kind of like a little bit of cutesy immature kind of plot lines and stuff, because like a lot of the shows that I love totally have all that, but this show just took it to another level. And when I finished it, I couldn't believe like the reviews and stuff. Like, people seem to really like the show, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? It was too much for me. The first 5 episodes of this show, no lie, felt like there was no true like plot line, like an ongoing plot. It was just like all this random stuff happening. And the actual show is called, you know, Flower Boy Ramen Shop, which never even comes into play until like the 5th episode of the show, which is kind of late for your, you know, title, I guess, plot to come in line. I don't know. It was bizarre. So if you guys liked that show, please tell me what you liked about it and what other shows that you like, because I just, for some reason, cannot get it through my mind that people genuinely like this show. The main lead guy, I had just watched another show with him in. He was in the Cinderella and Four Night show, and I loved him in that. He was so good in that show. So I know he's a good actor, and the show was a couple years before that. But in Flower Boy Ramen Shop, it was so beyond cringe. Like, I don't mind like a little bit of like a cringy show or something. Like, it's kind of cute or whatever, but this was so over the top. I could not handle it. Like, and my friend, I was watching it with my friend, and she, you know, she didn't love it or anything, but she was kind of okay with it and stuff. But I was so bored to tears, and I felt so obligated to watch it because she wanted to watch it, and I didn't want to like, you know, just like complain about it the whole time. But it was so bad. The last few episodes of watching it was so like genuinely hard for me. Like, I wanted to finish the show because I don't like to leave things unfinished, but it was so like painful to watch. I just, oh my god, it was so bad. And it was like a 16 episode show, so I felt like I had to like really struggle through watching that show. Just so many things. There were a lot of like immature jokes and stuff, which I don't mind, but it was just like every plot was about how the girl like is constipated, and like poop jokes and stuff, which like I'm okay with like a poop joke or two, but when it's the entire show, it was kind of exhausting, and I didn't really care for it. I think that it was just a really poorly written, poorly directed, poorly acted, poorly everything kind of show. Yeah, so again, I would love to have like 16 hours of my life back because that show was so not worth it. Yeah, so like I said, I never thought I'd actually be saying this, but there was a Korean drama that I absolutely hated. It was just so not worth my time, and it's part of like, I don't know if it's really called like a series, but it's like a non-continuous series. I don't know, but there's like two other shows that kind of like go with it, but like it's all different plot lines and all different people, but they all just kind of like go together. So I think it was called Flower Boy Ramen Shop. Then I think the other one is like Shut Up Flower Boy Band, and then I think the third one was called, what was it? Flower Boy Next Door. I don't know. It was terrible. It was boring. It felt like there was no true underlying plot line. It was just kind of like random, and the main character, like, he had no redeemable qualities. He was like this young, immature brat child, and there were no good qualities about him that like made you still want to like him or root for him, because of course there's always another love interest. And it was one of those shows again where I feel like, why, spoiler, she ends up choosing the 19-year-old over the 31-year-old like well-established chef from Japan. I don't know. It made no sense to me. It was one of the weirdest Korean dramas I have ever watched. And again, if you guys liked that show, I am very sorry. But let me know, what was it that you liked about it? Or, I don't know, or what other shows did you like? I am just beyond words for that show. So I know that was like super complaining of me, and I apologize. I did not mean to complain so much, but it was just, I don't know, it was just one of those shows that I felt very, very much let down. And, you know, I don't know, I guess not all the shows can be you know, absolutely amazing. However, that last show did leave like a really bad taste in my mouth. I don't know, it was just so bad. But I ended up watching another show, and ironically, it is the best show I have ever watched in my entire life. It is so amazing. I actually ended up, I don't want to say it yet because I'm not finished and I don't want to get any spoilers or anything. But it is, I can't even like explain how good it is. I will definitely be talking about it probably next week. So I had watched almost like, I probably had about like 5 episodes left of the show, but then I convinced my friend to watch it. She's kind of like not interested in the like, I don't know, I guess like the subgenre of this show. So she didn't really seem interested in it, but I like begged her to watch it with me because after I had seen so much of it, I was like, there's no way she would not like this. So I begged her to watch it with me, and she has fallen in love with it as well. It's honestly the best show I have ever seen in my life. It is absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad that she likes it because I feel like I kind of like changed her opinion on these types of shows. So I'm sure I will definitely be talking about that in my next video. So I'm gonna quickly finish up all the littles and any other extra stickers that I have, and I will come back and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so I finished putting in all the stickers, and I wanted to show you guys what it looked like before I wrote anything in it yet, just because I wanted to just kind of show you what it looks like if you were to buy it and use it in your planner. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see a little bit more. So here is the first little section. So each one has a day cover, and I will have to change this a little bit if I end up selling this in my shop because I'll have to add like little numbers and stuff so you can use it for whatever week you're going to use it. Since I knew what week I was going to use this, I just printed it for, you know, obviously the dates. So that might change just a tiny bit. So as you can see, the quote box here, I decided to do the little Mendel's box. I thought it was just perfect for like being a little square and everything. And then the scene you can see here is the daytime at Grand Budapest Hotel, and I did do all the artwork for this. It was very time consuming, but I love how it turned out. I'm super super happy with it, and I think it looks really cute. So then up here you have your ombre heart check boxes. Then I also have here is a like a little weekly check box. I have 2 habit trackers, and then of course I have these little full boxes here, and I didn't want to cover up the scene at all. Typically what I like to do, I will kind of like put them over the pattern, but of course I didn't want to cover this up. So what I ended up doing was I made these a little bit bigger so they will fill the entire column, and then I just placed them at the bottom. That way if I had like some important, you know, single thing for each day, I could write that there. And then of course I have the pink corresponding little stickers here. And then moving on to the nighttime scene. So this is the same kind of idea, just a night version of the hotel. Then of course the hotel at night. And then for the weekend banner, I didn't want it to cover up the scene again, and I had this extra box, so it's more of just kind of like a continuation of this. So it's like the mountains, and then I didn't want the weekend banner to cover anything, so that's why it's more of just a one-day weekend. But I thought it would be cute, and it is of course designed after the insignia of whenever the hotel is like taken over and stuff. Then of course you have the corresponding for the nighttime littles. Again, you have whatever, and again these will be a little bit different, the little boxes, if I do end up selling this on my shop, just because these are like more my personal stickers that I don't think a lot of people would actually want or have a use for. So the littles might be a tiny bit different, but I'm still working out all the kinks in case I do end up selling this in my shop. So that is it for this plan with me. I think that this is by far one of my favorite overall spreads so far. I'm kind of actually sad to see like what it's gonna look like with everything written on it, but overall I think it's very, very cute. I'm very proud of how it turned out, and like I said, I'm still thinking about whether I'm going to be selling this or not, but if I do, I will end up including a link or something if you guys are interested in purchasing this kit. So that is it for this week's plan with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below, and until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.